Hello, gorgeous girls and beautiful boys, men and women. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tim Nicolayo. If you are just joining us, my name is Tim Nicolayo, and I am a product manager. So, what do we do on this channel? We talk at everything product management. I actually started this channel for entry level product managers. So if you decide that, oh, I want to go into product management, right? This channel is for you. So I have like lots of videos, I think about 20 plus videos. Wow. Kudos. I have like 20 plus videos on product management from the foundation. I think we are still on the foundation, right? And to our current stage, right? So that is what we do here. We talk about product management. You can always drop a comment for me. You can always, I know people reach out to me on Slack. I know people reach out to me on Instagram. There is actually someone that sent me a message on Instagram and I couldn't really assist, and the reason is, let us get into it. So I think the last time we met, right, I said, oh, the next set, the concluding part of our alphabet video will be last week, right? But yeah, something happened, and guess what? Malaria sat me down. Like malaria sat me down, and I felt like I didn't even see the signs coming. Do you see malaria signs? I don't know. Probably maybe I didn't pay attention to it because I just finished writing my exams and I resumed back to work, and I was working on like managing like three projects concurrently. So I did not even pay attention to if I was feeling this way. But what shall happened in summary was that malaria really, really sat me down, and you can still notice it in my voice. I'm still trying to recover, got admitted, got discharged, and this is where we are. So yes, I just decided that, you know what, let's do this week so that we can wrap this up and we can go into some other interesting topics in product management. So yes, let's get into it. Where did we stop the last time we saw Limau? I said we are going to start from hey oh, okay, hey oh. So we stopped at N. That's net promoter score, right? And I said we are going to pick up from O today. Oh yes, oh, not zero. Oh, so today O is what? O is for OKR. OKR. I'm trying to look for something to use to instead of the actual meaning of the OKR. But yeah, O is for OKR. And what is the meaning of OKR? OKR is objectives and key results. Objectives and key results. Let me before I go into what I wrote, right? Let me explain it. Objective, let's say you gained admission into university and you as a good child of your parents, you decide that, oh, I'm going to graduate with if you like, say you are going to graduate with third class, is you that we know what will happen to you at the end. So you already have like an objective, like, oh, this is what I want to. Okay, while writing your jam, you already said that, oh, I want to become a farmer. Right now, what are the objectives? What are the things that you need to do? You have to get like a cutlass, a hoe, and probably a that thing that they do is to pluck things, right? All of those instruments, you need them. Those are the objectives that, oh, for me to do this, so I will have to get like an overall, what do you call those things? All of those things, those are your objective that, oh, this is how I'll be able to graduate with a first class. And the key results, what is going to happen after I've acquired all of those knowledge, I've ticked all the things that I need to tick to become a graduate. What is going to happen? I'm going to get my certificates, right? So let's just think of it as that. But yes, New Year's resolution for companies. That is what objectives and key results looks like. So when you get into a company and probably on your line manager now, they are giving you that note like, okay, so your first 6 months, these are the OKR. Don't be lost. What they are telling you is that way you have accepted that job offer, and there are things that you're expected to show us for the salary that we are paying you. So just think of it as your New Year's resolution for companies at the beginning of the year. Every quarter, there is always like one new thing the company wants to achieve and all of that. So real talk is OKRs are goal setting frameworks that Google arrest Google. Google popularized, right? So now every company thinks they need them. Of course they do, but probably maybe not as OKR, but yes, OKR. So it was actually popularized by Google. It's actually a goal setting framework that Google popularized, and now everyone, when even people that doesn't know the meaning of OKR, yeah, and my OKR for this week is yeah, all right. So yes, they are supposed to be ambitious, measurable, and achievable. Or you know what? Just pick two. Is it measurable, achievable, measuring? Just pick the one that you think can work for you. So now the PM impact is you will spend entire quarters setting OKRs. You know, I mentioned it. Sometimes it is quarterly based. This quarter, your OKR is changing from what you did last quarter. Then you know what you now do? You now start scrambling to eat them in the last 2 weeks. They will tell you that for this quarter is three months, right? Those of you that are always saying that I saw one thing one time that the person thought the last quarter started in September. You people calculating quarter. So now what happens is that this quarter, right? They will give you the OKR that this is what we want to. We want to launch this product before the end of the year. You started working on that product, but guess what? It is when deadline is there like this, when you see the deadline, that you now start rushing and rushing and rushing. So that's your OKR. Let's go to P. This one, should we skip it? Should we talk about it? I've flogged it enough. So P is for PRD, product requirement document. Product requirement document. So the product requirement document, think of it as the constitution of your feature. The constitution, you know, now in Nigeria we have constitution. Do we follow it? Yes. There are laws. Do we adhere to them? Yes. Do they flog us if we don't? Maybe, maybe not. So now your PRD, that is the constitution of your feature. That book where whenever anyone says, what are you doing? You can tell them that, oh, this is what we are doing. Everybody can go back to that book and they can read and they understand what we are trying to do. So that is the constitution of your feature. But PRDs are where PMs, product managers, pretend they know exactly what they want before anyone starts building. Really, it is where you write things that you want to prophesy into that product. It is where you draw the vision of that product. So what are you saying? It is definitely what I think that should happen to my product. It is my product requirement document, right? But it's the document everyone references, but no one wants to update when requirements change, which they always do. Requirement is always changing. Let me tell you something. Requirements changes a lot. Okay, probably we are going to talk about this on another topic, but requirement changes a lot. And one thing I've noticed is that most people do not go back to their PRD to update it. Probably one day I'll show you what my PRD looks like. If I go into a meeting today, let's say, okay, probably I'm using like um a Notion document, right? If I go into a meeting today and there is an additional document, I will go to the bottom of that document. I will put the date of the day that we had that meeting, additional requirements, and I'll put it there. Everything like you versionize. I don't know if there is a word for that, but I always versionize my PRD. So if there is a version 1, there is a version 1.1, there is a version 1.2. That way, you know the latest requirements. You know what was done the last time and nobody's confused about anything. So you will become a professional document writer who occasionally builds products. That's you if you are using a PRD. Now, QA. I know people do not like these people, but you have to like them. To be honest, you cannot do without them. They are like this. You cannot do without them. QA, oh, they will frustrate your life, but it's for the good cause. I hope so. It's for the so QA is quality assurance. So on the product, when you hear, oh, our QA are testing the product, don't call them testers. So I beg, it is quality assurance. Such a profession. Quality assurance. The way I'm actually saying this, quality assurance. So you think of it as the people who professionally break your stuff, in the sense that you as a product manager, when you've built, I mean, when you and your development team, you've built that product, right? You are going to be doing positive tests. This from the sign on, this thing is meant to accept email and password, right? Your QA, they will go and test it. But what if they said, okay, this thing is meant to accept email and password, right? So what if in your requirement document you put them, You cannot accept numbers. There are no numbers. It's just, you see what your QA will do. They will now start testing the application. If it will accept number, you should accept number. They will say they have a, what do they call it? I should not forget this thing. They will say there is a defect. That's one word you don't like hearing as a product manager. You will see a mail that they will give you issue log and there is a defect. So they're always breaking things that you build, those people. But QA engineers are like that friend who finds the one weird edge case that crashes everything. They are actually good people, to be honest. They are actually very good people. Sometimes they come off as, what are you guys doing? Must you, this thing is working now? But the way they test is not the way you test. And they need to test the way they need to test, because that is how users will test. That is how users will test. People outside, they would use anything to test that application. And you don't want to build an application that security is not strong. Anybody can just penetrate into the application. So they are the reason you can't ship broken product, and also the reason you can't ship product as fast as you want. If QA doesn't sign off on your product, you ain't going nowhere. You are not going nowhere. You are not going to go anywhere. You are not going to launch. If QA doesn't say yes, they finished all their circles, they've done the regression test. If they do not say yes on that product, you are not going to launch. I'm sorry. Thank you for building what that wonderful product, but you are not going to launch. I feel like if I want to, if I because I'm very, very petty like that, if I want to change profession, I think I'm gonna be a QA. I like it. I don't like it, but I like it in a way. It's good. Is you know but really, really, really. So the PM impact is that you will learn to love your QA team and fear the bug report in equal measure. So it's a love-hate relationship with them, really. I mean, you can be, let me give you this. I can be playing with my QA person now. And the next 5 minutes, this guy has sent one mail to tell me that, and I'll be like, guy, Bolu, I am just talking to you. You could have just explained this thing to me. But no, it doesn't work that way. Baba has sent me with somebody that we are still banding together. So yeah, there is always like a love-hate relationship with them. Now let's go to her ROI, return on investment. See, you yourself as a human being, you have your own personal ROI for yourself. So return on investment is simple. See, was this worth it? That wig that you bought, was it worth it? That wig that you bought for that millions, was it worth it? Is it shedding? Is okay, was it worth it? So the return on investment is, this money that I spent on this particular product, was it worth it? Is it even doing what I want it to do? So ROI is the business justification for everything you build. It's math that's supposed to prove your product decisions were smart, but it's often based on assumptions that were optimistic at best. Yeah, I said it. It's like just optimistic at best. So you become fluent in business cases and learn to make everything sound profitable on paper, even when that may not be profitable in the market. But because probably you want to launch, you want to put it in your portfolio that you've also worked on this, you start looking at, oh, our competitors are also your competitor. I saw something and I'm trying to just go into it. I just saw like I think I saw it on LinkedIn a few minutes ago, and I saw that Money Point had losses in the UK, and I think their business is thriving here in Nigeria. But the same, well, I haven't gotten into details. Really, I haven't gone into details rather. But you can imagine that thing. It's still the same, probably solution here in Africa, and they shipped it to the UK, and it's not the same market. So see, markets can be very, very friendly. Because it's working here doesn't mean that it's gonna work or it's gonna succeed there. Different users, different markets. Do you understand? But I haven't really gone into that. I just saw it and I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, the next one is SaaS. SaaS is not SaaS on the beats. It's SaaS. SaaS is not SaaS on the beats. It's SaaS, software as a service. Tell me as a service. Like just imagine. Tell me as a service. That's TAS. Take me as a service. Oh my God. Can you pay? See, bro, I am as I am. But yeah, so SaaS is software as I am. I say as I am. Look at it. See? Okay, so software as a service, right? So renting software instead of buying it, that is software as a service. So probably you, your company, you don't really have that robust technology to build that kind of solution. But one thing you can do is you can look for a company, right, that has the API, and you can just buy, probably the white label the product for you, and you put it on your own product. Let me just explain it that way. So it's a software as a service. So SaaS is why you pay monthly subscriptions for everything now. Yeah, it is. I Yeah, Snapchat. If you are doing stuff, I'm even about to delete that application, because what do you mean that I have to start paying for storage? Why did you lead me on this far and now you want to start billing me? It doesn't work that way. So instead of buying software once, you rent it forever. If you're and it's actually very good, really. If you are big, you are big. If you cannot develop it, there are people that can do it, and you pay them. It's not capitalism. Let everybody eat. Chop, I chop. So it is good. So, which is great for recurring revenue, but terrible for your personal budget. You are going to, now, if you don't have it, maybe you'll be buying, right? You'll be paying that person that can provide it. Since you cannot do it. So, it's a recurring budget for you. Well, when you are big, like I said. So the PM impact is that churn rate becomes your nemesis, and you will obsess over monthly or annual conversion rates. That is what happens with SaaS, software as a service. There are other ones outside of software as a service, really. But let's talk about software, since it is S we are talking about. Now, the next one is TAM, total addressable market. Okay, let's go back to the money point explanation I was trying to give, right? So let's think of it as the if everyone bought a product fantasy number, if everyone, you are just in your own word as a product manager, and you're just looking like, we are like 200 million people in Nigeria. All right, what if I tap into 100 million users in Nigeria, times how much will they pay for subscription? You see how you are all playing in your head. It's running, it's gone. All right, so just think of it as that. So TAM calculations are like estimating how much money you made. I mean, you make if you sold lemonade to everyone on Earth. So do you see that explanation that you're there, you're looking at it like, oh, we've tapped into the African markets. What if we go into the United Kingdom? What if we go into Europe? What if we go into Asia countries? You want to go and take them. You're not even there. You're already thinking of their population, and you're like, okay, so the youth, they're like 60% of the overall population. What if everybody start using our application? They will use it now because they are the love rights. Everyone on there. So technically, right, possible to calculate. It is possible. Use numbers now. Put the numbers, use data. You get it online. Get everybody's details online. Practically meaningless because it's not possible. Even in Nigeria, we are still begging people to come and use your application. So how do you want to tap into? But investors love big numbers. They love it when you come to that meeting and you tell them, so we've done an estimate from our data. We saw that in Lagos alone, we have like da numbers. And if we can do our marketing very well, salespeople, if they can go, they can help us get, stakeholders will be looking like, mommy, my child, well done. So the PM impact is you become creative at market sizing and learn to present term slides with confidence. It's simple now. It's just to be rolling number. Hey, they call it one name. You just be changing number every day. Number is just changing every day. Number is just changing. So that's term. Now let's go into UAT. So UAT is done by mostly the QA, the quality assurance people. So that's UAT. So we have user acceptance testing. User accept, just like the name implies. User, me, acceptance testing. This thing, I can give it to the users. They can use it now. It is acceptable. It is something that the users can now use. User acceptance testing, right? So think of it as the final exam your product has to pass by the QA. Do you get? They have their test scenarios, their test documents, and they will start rolling out different tests on that product. And for that product to go live, like I said, it must tick all those. See, you must see pass. If there is one fail, oh, it's a lot. So UAT is when real users finally test your creation and discover all the ways it doesn't work like expected. Like how it doesn't work like expected, right? So it's the moment of truth where your assumptions meet reality. So you hold your breath during UAT and learn to interpret this is fine feedback. Spoiler, it's never fine because you have to go back, fix the fix the blocker, fix the issues before you can now go. Now let's go to V. And also let me say before we go to V, UAT can be done by the users themselves. But sometimes I like when you involve the users. But if you cannot involve the users, right? Your QA people can do it, but most times it's always the users that need to do the user acceptance testing. Let them test, let them play with the application, let them give you feedback. Oh, we feel like you can do this, you can. They will all see at every point there is always, even when you are ready to launch tomorrow, there is always going to be a feedback. So that is that about UAT. So VOC, that is VOC, voice of customer. You know, we are just talking about UAT right now. So actually listening to the people who pay you, that is VOC, listening to the people that are about to pay you or that are already paying you. So VOC programs are systematic ways to collect customer feedback, which sounds obvious, but it is surprisingly hard to do well. I know that it's actually a very difficult thing to do. Presently, I'm going to let me put it here and I'm going to share the link at the end of this video so that you people, voice of customer, let me fill my form too. It is difficult, right? So I'm currently doing my final year. I mean, it's not final year, my MSc project, right? And I need you guys, if you love me, 235 people that are subscribed to this channel, fill the form so that I can graduate from my MSc program. Is that convincing enough? All right, so that's how you actually get. I'm serious, so I'll put the link there so that people can feel for me. Edakun, please, I'm begging. So yes, it sounds obvious, but it is surprisingly hard to do well if you do not have um um if you cannot, if you're not patient, right? It is very difficult to get feedback from people because people will, they will toss you, they would not even answer you, they will neglect you. But truth is they will still come around. But at that point, if you already abandon them, that this one's, you won't get your feedback. So you have to be very, very patient to get the voice of customer. So it's like having a suggestion box that people actually use. So the PM impact is you become a professional customer whisperer and learn to translate complaints into actionable insights. We are coming to the end of this, and I'm super, super excited because I need to go and rest. All right, W is Mr. W. W is wow. Weekly active users. This one, if you've watched my videos on key metrics, and all of those things, you will know what WAU is. So it is weekly active users. So we have daily active users, and we also have weekly active users. So DAUs, that's daily active users, slightly more relaxed cousin is who, wow, he's wow, weekly active user. So WAU gives you a broader view of engagement than daily metrics, right? Some products are not meant to be used daily. So looking at you, tax software, not every day. Like for example, there is something FRS here in Nigeria is doing. You may not use that thing every day. It might be at the end of the week you want to just transmit your invoices, or you want to do anything with FRS. So some products are not like something that you can get the actual results every day. So some are like weekly. So weekly engagement makes more sense. You pick between DAU, WAU, and MAU. MAU is monthly active user based on your product type, and you will also spend meetings explaining why your metric choice makes sense. So it depends on the product, and that is what you now use to say, okay, you know what, this metric we are going to be tracking it probably bi-weekly, weekly, monthly, or daily. Then the XFN. When you see something XFN, it is cross functional. It is cross functional. So think of it as the art of herding cats across departments. You know, when you see job ad, you will say, or they will say something like, can you work with cross-functional teams? You're trying to say that as a product manager, you are going to be navigating like everybody in the organization, from the gate person, from the gate man to the least person in the organization. You are going to be talking to them. So cross-functional. So cross-functional collaboration is like organizing a potluck where everyone needs to coordinate their dishes. But some people are vegetarian, others are on keto, and someone always brings just napkins. Like I said, from the top to the bottom, top, bottom, bottom down. That is cross functional. You are going to be working with literally everybody in the organization. I'm currently working on one product in my organization, and I've had to go and meet the finance people to get an understanding of something that I need on my product. Sometimes it may not be finance. Sometimes it might even be like the office assistants that I want to talk to, because probably they are more outside. They are, I don't know how to explain this. Like they are the actual users than probably people in tie and suit in my organization. Do you understand? So half your job becomes translation services between engineering, design, marketing, and sales teams who speak different languages. So that is what is meant by cross functional. What to do I again? X, that is X. And why is year over year. So the annual report card comparison. Last year we did this year we did this. Oh, last year our product was able to get like this number. Is there a decline? Is there an improvement? Like just comparison is the report card at the end of the year for you. So your growth is how you measure if you're actually improving or just riding seasonal waves. So it's like comparing your current self to your last year's version. I've never done that. Is grace, this is our story. We go from glory to glory, because if you start comparing yourself to last year, well, you will cry. Oh my Jesus, you will cry. Oh. So no, we go from glory to glory. Hallelujah. Forgetting those things that are behind and looking forward to. I mean, that was what Paul said. I press towards the mark. We press towards the. So hopefully less embarrassing, right? So you live and die by YOY metrics, and Q4 comparisons will give you anxiety attacks. Q4 is the last 3 months of the year, right? So when you've been flexing, you've been faffing for the past Q3, it's like Q1, Q2, Q3. Now the Q4 is where they will catch you. They'll be like, Chakam, snap it. This is where they are present. And the last one is Z or ZBB, zero based budgeting. So justifying every dollar like it's your own money. The subscription that we want to pay, the premium, this, this internet stuff, the access something that we want to pay for. You have to justify every penny that you are spending like it is your own money. So ZBB makes you start from zero and justify every expense instead of just adding 10% to last year's budget. Before you add it, you justify it. Why do we need to increase it? Is it because the provider said they've added this amount? Are there better services that we can get rather than adding 10%? So you have to justify, you have to do a lot of research so that you are not just spending money anyhow. So it's like you just doing corporate spending. Like I manage money for my small department in my organization, and every time I need to send money out, I'm asking, have you gone to ask from like three vendors to be sure that we are getting like the good price at the good product at a cheaper or reasonable rate, right? So yeah, so does this expense spark joy? If there is profit in it, why not? So you will become a master at ROI calculations, like I said, and you will also learn to fight for every feature's budget allocation. So yes, we've come to the end of A to Z. I hope I've been able to explain these things very well. So congratulations. This is your certificate, award of completion. So you've survived the alphabet soup of product management. Now you can confidently nod along in meetings when someone drops these acronyms, or better yet, right? Use them to sound like you know what you are doing until you actually do. Sometimes I don't even use ZBB. I don't use it every time. I don't use it in conversations, but I know what it means. And when I need to use it, I know how to use it. So the real skill is not knowing all those acronyms, right? It's knowing when not to use them and just speak like a human being, right? Your customers don't care about your KPIs. They care about whether your product solves their problem. And that's it. So come to the end of the video this week. Like I said, I'm going to drop a link in the description box. I need you. As you're watching this video, I think I should have said this at the beginning, but please just go to the description box. If you watch it to the end of this part, right, to this end, go to the description box. The survey or the questionnaire is less than 5 minutes. Just please help me fill it. I'm begging you in God's name. If I've helped your life so far, if you laugh while watching my video, please help me fill my video and my questionnaire. And the Lord will bless you as you do so in Jesus' name. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful um month. I think it's the first video in October, right? Have a beautiful, it's like 2 months to the end of the year. Ooh, nice, nice. Congratulations, we made it by God's grace. So yeah, I think that's all. Next week, by the special grace of God, I am healed completely in Jesus. Malaria is not sitting me down. I've stood up. I've arose. Hey, hey. English. All right, so we'll see next week by the special grace of God. Take care of yourself and keep building amazing products. Bye.